an exhausting week. It feels more like a month. But Shabbat this week feels both earned and needed. After all of the tumult and unknown, we need a little peace and quiet. Tonight, we need the familiar melodies that bring us calm. And we need to see our familiar and loving faces. And maybe over the next 24 hours, we will give ourselves a break from the constant barrage of information. If able, perhaps we'll take a moment and enjoy what promises to be a beautiful autumn weekend. Read a good book. Take a nap. Let this be a Shabbat of peace and comfort for all of us. I encourage you to send in your Shabbat greetings and well wishes in the chat box, and we'll try to share them. So with that, we begin our service tonight.
I see my phone up there.
We're going to continue our service with Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Hey, sorry.
We continue with the singing of Lecha Dodi on page 138. Tonight we'll be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And before we join that, I know that Helene Gersten mentioned that it is Marv's birthday this week, as well as Kathy Wolder has been named an advocacy ambassador for the Susan G. Komen Center for Public Policy. So mazel tov to everyone who is celebrating something special this Shabbat. Please rise. We continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. We continue with our call to worship, the Baruch, on page 146. Please rise. We continue with Roll into Dark.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto La'olam
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We have more Shabbat greetings from Amy and Paul, who are on their way back to New Jersey, from Carol Cohn, from Karen and Larry Budnick, from the Crowns, from Steve Barkan, and from Janice Kessler. Shabbat greetings to everyone. We continue on page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. As we welcome Shabbat tonight, we join together for Vishamru, reminding us that as much as we keep Shabbat, Shabbat keeps us. Page 162.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashem. Asot et Hashavat leTorata. Shabbat
And now we continue with the tefillah, beginning on page 164. And we are reminded to pray as if everything depended on God and to act as if everything depended on us. Please rise.
Adonai, Sifatai Tivta. Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tivta. That my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el hagadol hagibor v'hanora el elyon gomer chasadim tovim v'konei hakol v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot u'mevi geula livnei v'nehem lema'an shemo b'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah gibor la'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rab lehoshia, Mashiv haruach, Umorita Gashem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al kivurot, Umidam melach, Melech mimit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata le'achayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Kaddish Shabbat. We now take a moment for the prayers of our hearts. In just a moment, we'll join with Cantor Novik on page 371 as we turn our hearts and minds to those who are in need of healing, and we'll join together for the Mishaberach. Tonight, we keep in our hearts and minds Zalman Ben Dina, Gabby Kraft Buckman, Susan Klein, Summer Kurter, Susan Robb, Linda Rabino, Arlene Furman, Neil Silverman, Linda Fleischer, Larry Maslow, Mason Rockmore, Martin Ostroff, Don Hirsch, Pearl Weitzman, Aaron Taylor, Perry Shellman, Susan Schneider, Sharon Neese, Rabbi Rob Nosenchuk, Emily Tucker, Andy Secutris DeOrio, Sharon Zidney, Joyce Kagan, Gloria Ostaker, Ina Batvelvel Draymond, Scott Goldberg, Rena Goslin, Gloria Saltzman, Emil Vogel, Kathy Murphy, Katie Engel, Betsy Miller, Mark Goldstein, Aviva Khanna, Mary Ann Stahl, Allison Tischler, Dean Rossi, Stephen Brundage, Betty Moore, Madison Mosher, Robin Fisher Solis, Phyllis Brown, Shmuela Chava Bat Chizak Visara. And as our country faces an unprecedented number of new cases of the coronavirus, we pray for all those who are ill with this disease, as well as their caregivers and their loved ones. In addition, this evening, we are keeping in our hearts and minds Stephen Wasser, and praying for all those who are in need of healing.
So as I was walking this morning, I was listening to a very beautiful song, which we actually have sung before. And I decided at the last minute, forgive me, Rabbi. It's a song that I think will help to heal us even more. Adonai, heal us. Adonai, heal us. Adonai, heal us. Please heal us. Adonai.
Thank you, Cantor. That was beautiful and just what we needed. We also need to take a moment to celebrate Shabbat and the sweetness that comes with it. And so we join together in the Kaddish on page 123. If you have a cup of something sweet, I invite you to join us as we rise together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon, Inchilanu zikaron lemaaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
You may be seated. If there was ever a week when our eyes have been glued to our TVs, our phones, computers, or iPads, it has been this week. My eyes are weary and tired of looking at blue and red numbers. When I tire of looking at various news sites, I turn to Facebook for comfort from my friends. And at some point, I turn to this week's Torah portion, wondering what I would see. Vayera is the name of this week's portion. The name comes from the first words of the portion, Vayera Elav Adonai, God appeared, or perhaps God was seen. Those few words are like an overture to the chapters ahead. First, Abraham will see God in the form of three visitors, angels who will bear news of a child arriving in the coming year. At the conclusion of their visit, the angels look towards Sodom, their next step on their journey. And here we catch a glimpse of Abraham, of the Abraham that we love, the Abraham who bargains with God. How could God, as Abraham asks, sweep away the innocent along with the guilty? Abraham challenges God not to destroy the city if there are but 50 innocent people. And Abraham does not let up, continuing to bargain until God agrees not to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, if but 10 righteous people can be found. Later in the chapter, after Isaac is born, Sarah tells Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away. In the wilderness, having run out of water, Hagar cries in distress, "Let me not look on as the child dies." But an angel of God opens her eyes, and she sees the well of water that will save their lives. And finally, the Akedah. And here we see another side of Abraham. Instead of the reasonable, caring Abraham, we now encounter an Abraham we might call a fanatic, blinded by faith. Without one word of questioning or a moment of doubt, Abraham seems ready to sacrifice his only child, and with Isaac, all of God's promises. Only when the angel cautions Abraham not to harm his child does Abraham lift his eyes and see the ram that will become the sacrifice in place of Isaac. We see the many sides of Abraham. Abraham, the gracious host whose tent is open to all, who will risk God's wrath to argue on behalf of the innocent. And Abraham, the extremist, so caught up in what he believes is expected of him that he is willing to commit violence without a second thought. Abraham, like us, is complicated. To see him through just one lens, just one moment, is not really to see Abraham. It seems this is how Americans are seeing each other right now. Either we are socialists who want to rewrite our country's history and force people to wear masks, or we are racist homophobes. And the candidate of the party we do not support will lead us down a path of destruction. The way we see each other, or perhaps the ways in which we do not see each other, may have contributed to how we have found ourselves in this predicament. Spending far too much time on Facebook, I have seen a number of friends post messages to the effect that if you vote for President Trump, you are voting for racism, homophobia, and misogyny, and they will therefore unfriend you. This hits particularly close for some, and it is tempting to buy into this belief that one is either a friend or an enemy. In all of the commercials, speeches, and debates over the last few months, there has been a stark absence of policy proposals and details. Few, if any, details on healthcare, taxes, foreign policy. Not even a definitive plan with details on battling the pandemic. Rather, each party has, with a very broad brush, painted a vision for our United States. Perhaps the results of this election have been our way of telling politicians that broad strokes are nice, but we would also like some of the details. If this election, still not officially decided, has shown us anything, it's that we are not so united. We live in two United States. The last 4 years may have made many weary and worried. And while we are divided, for better or worse, our country is not rallying behind either party's vision. David Brooks writes in the New York Times, Trumpism and wokeism are not equivalent phenomena, but both serve as secular religions for their disciples. They offer a binary logic of good and evil, a cult-like membership experience, apocalyptic or utopian visions, witch trials for the excommunication of the impure, and the sense of personal meaning that comes while fighting a holy war. Now, depending on how one sees things, we could see this election as a rejection of this binary vision. We know that Democrats are not automatically socialists and Republicans are not automatically racist. We have told our politicians that we will not hand over either party complete control of our government. We have told them to work it out. The only way for our government and for our country to move forward is for our parties to listen to each other, to negotiate. We, the people, have given them little choice. To be honest, I'm not sure that our newly elected officials will live up to the challenge. Neither party seems to have much interest in negotiation. But I hope they will be like Abraham, not the fanatic with clouded vision who might sacrifice the future in a demonstration of loyalty and faith, but the Abraham who sees the divine image in the stranger and who humbly negotiates on behalf of the few righteous people. And while I am not so sure about our elected officials, I am more sure about us. We turned out to vote. In our own congregation, our Voting Matters Committee worked hard to make us a 100% voting congregation. I believe they and we were successful. Around the country, people turned out to vote in record numbers, some willing to risk their own health to exercise their right to participate in our democracy, flawed though it may be. Some voted wholeheartedly and some half-heartedly. But more than ever, we want our voice to be heard and our vote to be counted. Our work is not done. Voting is just the first step. Now it is we who must be models for our own politicians. We must reject the lure of the cult. We must reject the desire to demonize those who do not share our views. We must talk to our neighbors, friends, and even relatives. It is often said that in polite company one does not talk about politics, but now is the time. Why do my neighbors vote the way they do? What are the concerns of my coworkers? And what do my relatives fear? These will not be easy conversations. We may learn things we do not like about those we care about. But the risk of not engaging in these discussions is far greater than hurt feelings. We are broken, and we cannot rely on others to do the work of fixing our country. It is up to each and every one of us. I want to leave you with this post-election prayer written by Rabbi Andrea Weiss. No matter what happens, this we know. We must recalibrate our national compass and reconfirm what matters most. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. How do we get from here to there? The Torah guides our ways. It is not enough to love your neighbor as yourself. You must love the stranger as yourself. The prophets tell us what to do. Let justice roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. The Psalms remind us, the night may be dark, but morning always comes. May we each do our part to bring about the dawning of a new day. And I would add, by the light of a new day, with a vision worthy of Abraham, of a better future and a better, stronger United States. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. We continue now with a prayer, perhaps much needed, for our country on page 376. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit, to which we all say, Amen. And lest we lose sight as we are so glued to our various screens, that this coming week we will observe Veterans Day. And so for all those who have served us and who love those who have served us, God of justice and truth, rock of our lives, bless our veterans, these men and women of courage and valor with a deep and abiding understanding of our profound gratitude. Protect them and their families from loneliness and want. Grant them lives of joy and bounty. May their dedication and honor be remembered as a blessing from one generation to the next. Amen. We continue with the Aleinu on page 586, and I ask you to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המון, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We continue with Vina Amar on page 591. You may be seated.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We take a moment now to call to our hearts and minds our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. We recall loved ones who have died in the last 30 days. Isaac Billman, husband of Kathy Billman, father of Sarah Billman. Anita Rodkin, mother of Steve Rodkin. David Bregman, husband of Nancy Bregman, father of Carol Gross. Lee Bum Hung, uncle of rabbinic intern Becky J. Marjorie Feinberg, wife of Chet Feinberg. Bernard Weinstein, husband of Terry Weinstein. Sheldon Glickman, husband of Ann Glickman. And we recall loved ones whom have died but have not yet been buried. Dennis Rodkin, father of Steve Rodkin. Sheldon Wright, father of Lenore Argan. As well as those who died at this season in years past. Kenneth Edelman, Ray Birnbaum, Howie Byrne, George Biscayr, Norman Blum, Cheryl Sabula, Pearl Delman, Ray Cornmel Flisser, Hannah Fogelman, Morris Geller, Abraham Glass, Paul Glickman, Florence Goldstein, Louis Aaron Goldstone, Shirley Greenberg, Paul Harriton, Adela Heller, Leon Carabin, Martin Koch, Helen Lane, Ella Wishnak Levine, Michael Levin, Laura Linder, Adam Maney, David Moorer, Edward Plymack, Monica Reese, Aaron Rich, Jeannie Rock, Lillian Rogers, Sam Rose, Morton Schoenbach, Douglas Schaffman, Mern Schaffman, Dorothy Schulman, Helen Silver, Regina Slove, Anita Spira, Fred Stein, Charlotte Taffet, Anna Van Posnak, Adeline Wallenstein, Helen Wellen, Molly Wendroff, Leo Zagorin, and Jeff Zients. And if there is anyone else you are remembering tonight whose name we have not mentioned, I invite you to share their names in the chat box. We hold all of these as well as those we have drawn into our hearts with our own. May their memories be for a blessing. In addition, we are remembering tonight Alex Palmer. We continue with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah v'yalmad divrach v'yirtei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayachon uvyomachon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mavorach le'alam u'almei almaya Yitvarach v'yittabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitkamam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shemei Gedusha B'Richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amaran b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Ose shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, and to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. I hope that you all had the opportunity to take a look at your email from the temple today with upcoming events, and particularly to make note of this week, tomorrow, our community Havdalah at 5:30. Join us on Zoom as we mark the end of Shabbat and the end of the election season, or at least we hope. We will gather virtually as a family to reflect on the week in a safe and sacred space. We'll use our Jewish tradition and liturgy as we reflect on our American ideals and values. So we hope that you'll join us tomorrow at 5:30. The link is in your temple email that you received today. Tomorrow morning, we hope you'll join Holy Scrollers at 8:15 and the Saturday morning Minyan at 9:30. During the week, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Kroloff on Monday at 11:30 a.m. will be very special. Join Rabbi Kroloff, Rabbi Prosnit, and Rabbi and Ambassador David Saperstein for what we know will be a robust discussion on what the elections mean for all of us. Anything else to add, Cantor Novik?
Nope. I look forward to doing Havdalah with you.
Yes, me too.
And Rabbi, what a great sermon.
Thank you.
What a great sermon.
Thank you very much. For our closing song, Cantor Novik.
Well, there it is. I just thought this would be a great way to close our service on an upbeat note.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to New York Island, to redwood forest, to the coastal waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless highway. So below me, the Golden Valley.
What a perfect note for us to close on tonight. I think I played that on the xylophone when I was in 4th grade. If I can find my xylophone, I'll join you one day on it. I invite you all to unmute yourselves and to share some Shabbat wishes with everyone before we go.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Great sermon,
Nice to
Rabbi.
see you.
Shalom.
Thank
Yes,
you.
What a
exactly.
great music.
Again.
Great
Very
sermon.
nice.
Great
Great
music.
sermon.
Thank you.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Well,
Frank. Hi,
everyone, have a
Sharon.
Hi, hi, nice
Hi.
to
Good to
very
see
nice
you.
to see you. Hi.
Hi.
You look great.
You are, Phyllis.
Hi. Hi there.
Hi.
Hello, Helene and Mark.
Shalom all.
Hi,
Hi,
Phyllis.
Carol and
Hello,
Jean.
everyone.
Hi.
What a beautiful day, huh?
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
And more to come this weekend.
Yay.
We need them.
Yes.
Martha, up spirits. Lift our spirits.
selection at the end.
Yes. Yeah, I love that song.
Very good.
Bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Everybody.
Beautiful service.
Thank you.
Hi, Helpins.
Hi.
That's Kathy
Hi.
on your appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Elfins. How are you?
I don't have sound.
Oh, hello there.
Hi, Steve and Kenny. Hi, Tal and Sue.
Hi.
Jackie.
Cantor, wonderful.
Oh, turn airplane off.
Yeah.
There we go.
What a day.
Shabbat
Hey,
shalom.
Kathy
Shabbat
and
shalom.
Hi, everybody.
Shalom.
Hello.
Cindy and
Hello, Cantor Novik.
Mwah. Mwah.
Hi,
Kathy.
Rabbi.
Mwah.
We got a kiss from Martha.
I love a good sermon. Boy, that was great.
It was perfect.
That was
Thank
that
you.
was
Thank
great.
you.
Very brave.
Always very restorative.
Good. Good. I'm
I
glad.
miss
Thank you.
everybody. I miss you all so much.
Isn't
Me
it a
too.
different
We
world?
miss you too.
Hi.
Right.
Through it.
We're all
And hi to
Zoom.
everyone whose cameras we don't see.
Meryl and I spoke to, you notified us
See you
about it.
next week. Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
I don't know.
No? You won't be with us? Steve? No?
I don't think she's talking to you. She might be talking to a different Steve.
No, I'm talking to Steve Barkan.
This Steve
I'm
right
here,
here,
I'm
he's
here.
right here.
You won't be with us next week?
Yes, we will.
We will. Where are we going?
I
No
don't
place to go.
Go for a walk.
We could go for a walk.
Go to the beach.
Not there.
You could take a walk there.
I went
Yeah.
for a great walk today. It's
It
beautiful.
really lifts your soul, doesn't it?
It
To
does.
be outdoors on a day like this.
I power walk 3 miles just about every day.
Wow.
Today was the best.
It was fabulous. It was fabulous.
Best. It just was amazing. It was so good. It's so good to see you guys. It really.
One of these days, I'm going to join you, Cantor Novik.
Yeah, you gotta move fast. I do 14-minute miles.
Wow.
It's pretty fast.
Oh, I don't think
I
I
shake
could
my
do
toes.
14.
I don't even know if I can
We
run a
do,
14
we
minute
do
mile.
10-minute miles.
We do 10.
Wow.
He just made
What?
that up.
Who does?
I think he just made that up.
No, not 10.
I think you must
The
have.
other way.
The other way,
Slower.
slower, right. But we're old, so it's okay.
Just pray, okay? Everybody pray that there's a good outcome.
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We should wake up tomorrow and there should be great news. It's not going to happen so fast, but
We can't take this anymore. We just
no, it's so draining that,
can't.
But Tom Malinowski won.
yes,
What,
we
Steve?
did.
Tom Malinowski won.
I know.
Yes, yay.
I must have made.
That was the best.
Oh, you must have made 100 phone calls.
I bet you did. I know you did last time. What a gift. What a gift that he won.
Great.
It's just
Right.
amazing. And the rest of the Congress didn't do so well for the Democrats. Democrats, but
No,
he
That's
won. That's
troublesome.
amazing.
yeah, thank goodness.
Well,
Because he is such a
think
voice of
I think
reason.
he'll be there for a while. He's such a great man. He's
Oh, now
such
he
a
will.
great man.
He's terrific.
Yeah,
He's
I think
terrific.
he's solid now.
I told
Yep.
him when he's president, I want to sing at his installation. He can't be president. Oh, well.
Right.
No, that's true. He was born out of the country.
I think he was born in Poland, I believe.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he
Yeah.
should be president, but maybe senator next. We'll
It
toss
could
Bob
be.
Menendez out.
Yeah.
Because Cory Booker doesn't even have to campaign anymore.
Right, he doesn't. Right.
It's
Doesn't
true.
need signs, nothing.
Why would he?
Right. But I wouldn't be surprised if Booker's not on a short list for a cabinet position.
That's true.
You may be very, you may be right.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I thought to lose him as a senator is a
Yeah.
He's got- He's really excellent. He wasn't always as good as
No, I
this,
think
but
he's
very good.
matured.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well,
Well, if Jeff
Right.
and Cheryl and Gary and Linda and Dina and Lou and Linda and Marcy are still on, they're very quiet.
They may not realize that they're still on.
That is true.
It's really great to see you.
same
Really
here.
great
Well,
to see.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for a beautiful service. It really,
We look forward to it.
We
so
do.
much.
Oh, good.
We
Yeah.
always look forward to seeing you.
thank you.
That's the truth. There you are.
Hi, Martha. How are you?
Congratulations.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
Drew.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shalom.
How are the boys?
Okay.
All three of them.
They're great. They're great. Andrew will be home in a couple weeks. And yeah, Russell and Samuel are good.
Okay, Jeff, you grew a beard.
At some point, yes.
I
Half of
did
one.
I did
Only
too.
half.
That's why I don't like putting video on.
This you will love this rabbi so much. You will love this
Yes.
rabbi. He's incredible. These are Cheryl and Jeff Cohen,
Hi.
three amazing boys. And Samuel he's still in 7th grade, right?
Samuel's
Eighth
eight.
grade.
He's in 8th grade.
Eighth
Yeah.
grade. Yes. Yes.
Wow, I like the beard, Jeff.
Oh, thank you.
I do. I don't know if
It's
Cheryl
like-
does, but
It started from here to here, and now it's down to this little piece left, but
looks good. Your
Thank
coat beard. Oh, wait a second. Joni, who's this? Unmute yourself. You're muted. Oh,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, got it.
There
Okay.
you
there
go.
you are.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom. Say
Shabbat Shalom. Who's this
Shalom.
little one?
How
Wow.
are you?
Great to see you.
You too.
Hi, Guy.
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom.
What's that? You want to show them the other one?
Okay.
Jody, you want to show them?
Oh, you want to see the baby?
Whose baby is that?
Wesley.
Aw, what a smile.
Wow. Wow. You guys are so terrific. Makes me feel old, but that's okay.
How's Abby's child? She must be big.
Two. She has Emma, which is 4, and who is 4, and Liam, who is almost 14 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. I'm exhausted after they leave. I crawl upstairs to my bedroom and just collapse.
Do they live close by?
Middlesex, not far.
Okay, good.
Not far.
Well, you know that Julie lives right behind the temple, so.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get her to join.
No, he goes to the nursery there.
Oh, that's great.
Members.
That's great. Which class is he in?
What class are you in? Tell her.
What's the name of his class?
With another Zach.
Turtles? Is that what you're in? You're a turtle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so totally cool. I always wanted to be a turtle.
All right. Say bye.
Bye, everybody. Shabbat
Bye.
shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat shalom.
Bye. Have a good
Shabbat
night.
shalom.
Great
I
to
love the
see
music. It was
you.
perfect tonight.
Oh God, how far from